Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Remote Pair Programming. I'm Adibol Waka, and
And I'm Llewellyn Falco.
hi. So we'll briefly introduce ourselves. I'm a programmer, trainer, coach at MosaicWorks.
I am an Agile technical coach, which means I also sit with the programmers and we learn to program better. I do a lot with legacy code, and I also was involved with mob programming and approval tests, and I am the person who sort of started the strong style pairing.
Yeah. So thank you for being here. Our purpose today is to understand how two different styles of pairing look, which
Yeah.
can have very different effects basically. So we'll have a first session with traditional style pairing, and if you could explain that a bit maybe, please.
Yeah, so there's two things that we're doing. Well, first, we're also going to do this remote, right? So I think while both these apply both when you're in person and remote, I think they maybe get amplified a little bit more in a remote session. And with traditional style pairing, the idea is that you still have a driver and navigator, and the driver is still the person at the keyboard, and the navigator is sort of the person overlooking the situation. But in traditional style programming, the real key issue is where are the thoughts generating primary? And in traditional style, the person at the keyboard is the person who's going to be generating the thoughts, putting those thoughts into the keyboard, into the computer directly, and then the navigator is sort of going to like reverse engineer that and sort of keep track, add input, and sort of watch over the situation.
So basically the person at the keyboard will take decisions. Is that um, is that right?
Yeah.
While the let's say the navigator, so the other person will just guide.
Just sort of watching over.
Okay, watch
guiding.
over. That's basically the idea that we're trying to do, and we call this traditional style pairing. Okay. So we thought about using Roman numerals, but the addition of Roman numerals. I've never done this kata before. So we'll see how this will work out. I'm using Java. I have JUnit set up. I have a Git thing set up. And with any problem, right? I don't know. We'll try to fix it together. And basically that's what you do when you do pairing, right? You want to fix problems.
Yeah. So the idea here is we want to do addition. We want to do it as the Romans did it. So we're not going to allow the use of any integers in today's kata. We are going to learn how to add and sort of automate the process that the original Romans were doing when they did addition. And this first one is the easiest one to try. We can just put 1 and 1 together to get 2.
Okay, so where do I find this kata?
I don't know the answer to that question. Let me send you a link. Is Woody Zool, creator of mob programming, is the one who introduced this to me.
Yeah.
Originally. There's a reference to it here, but just on a, I don't think there's like a nicely detailed explanation of the kata.
So I'll just take this. Oh, that's on GitHub. Okay.
And it just sort of mentions that we can do Roman numeral addition kata.
Yeah. Okay, so with Roman numerals, what it says here that we have given a number.
Looking at number 3.
Program
We're looking at Roman numerals number 3.
addition without allowing to convert to numbers in between. Great.
Yep.
So that's basically all we know.
That's all I know. But I know more, so I can help you with the first test.
Okay.
I think it'll get pretty self-explanatory after that. And so the Roman numeral for 1 is I.
Yeah.
And I plus I equals II.
So that's basically the kata. Roman numeral addition without trying to convert numbers in between. Great. So you're saying that the first test should be adding I and I should result in 2. Meaning I.
Yep.
Okay. So now another question: what style would we use? Would we use just create a class and traditional TDD approach? Would that be okay?
Yeah, I mean, whichever way you have in your head.
Yeah.
I like traditional TDD a lot, so
Okay. So I'll just do a
I'm
class.
also okay with it just as a string.
Yeah. For now, I think I'll try to be more traditional. Let's say from this point of view. So I'll just do what people typically do, creating a class and then making a function, something like add. I have a string term, string second term, and this should return a string as well. This will return nothing for now. Okay. So then basically here I'd expect to have this, but I would have an actual. I need to generate this variable.
Yep.
And this variable actual needs to come from new Roman addition add, and I need to add the I with an I. Okay. Typically I like extracting this as well and putting it in the arrange part. So this would be the expected. Going to be like that. Now if I run the tests, they should be red because
All right, so looks like we have a test. We should be able to run that and see if it fails.
yeah. So expected 2, but actually it's nothing. So if I go back to the, I'm gonna close this. So if I go to, oh, come on, close up. I'm gonna go here, and if I just return 2, that would be simple enough to make this test pass for now. I run the tests again.
Yeah.
So,
Hooray!
Yeah, great. As our viewers can see, I'm always explaining what I'm doing, and I think that's always important when you do pairing.
Yeah.
When you're silent and you do pairing, that's not a very good idea. Now I will add the new things I don't really care about the things from idea because this is just a demo for now, so I don't have any git ignore.
I don't care with that.
So added first test.
We probably should though throw a git ignore at least around the classes.
On the classes, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that if you want.
I'm not sure where your GD edit showed up.
Sorry?
But at the very least, you can do like a pico or a nano.
Yeah, I
Oh, there it is.
used gedit, so it's the same thing, basically.
Yeah, so just dot class.
Yeah. So now those should go away. But yeah. New file modified. It's still.
So I think you might actually need to remove the class because once it's added, the git ignore, like the git ignore will stop it from showing up under status, but it won't actively remove it if the class itself has been added.
Okay, so what should I do?
So we already added. Is there a way to unadd?
Yeah,
remove?
so you mean you want me to do this?
That sounds right.
What?
You might need to remove the actual classes themselves.
You mean the dot classes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shout production. Addition.
And the Roman numeral one.
Okay. So do you think that will work? Great.
That looks good. Yep.
Okay. So added the
first test.
Yeah.
1 + 1 = 2.
Add the first test. 1 + 1 = 2. 2. Sorry, I'm not a Roman.
That's all right.
Okay, so let's get back here. All right, so I have my first test running. Now, as we're doing TDD, I'll continue the next test. I don't have a lot to refactor, I guess. I could do some stuff, but I don't have enough for now. So let's add the next test. Adding 1 and
Yep.
2 should go to 3.
Probably that should be a small a in the beginning.
Yeah. Sure, thank you. So that's what guidance means, right?
Yep.
I'm very focused on what I do, and then you help me with seeing things I miss. So I would expect 3 resulting, and I have an actual that should come from a new Roman addition. Add, and I'm adding a 1 with a 2. Now I want to sort that have the expected equal with actual. If I run this test, should fail, right? Oh, cannot find
Should
symbol.
fail.
Yeah, but it's failing because of the classes.
Wait, what? It's failing because of which class?
What we removed, I think. Cannot find symbol class.
Is there a way to do like a refresh? Probably under build.
Well, it's building anyway. But
But it might not be building Roman initial. Or you might not realize that the Roman addition class got.
yeah,
Oh, there it is.
let's see. Yep.
Open up Roman addition for a second. And just modify it in any way you want. Just
Oh, because your sharing is not. It's not seeing it.
yeah. Now try it.
Oh yeah. So now it compiled, and now let's run the tests. Good hack, thank you.
There we go. And that's the failure that we're expecting to see.
So as you can see, I learned something because I didn't know if you didn't look at the regenerate classes if you don't change them. But it makes sense, right? Because you want to minimize the processing time. Okay, so now it's failing. What could I do?
I mean, so again, if we just think of automating this, we're just shoving the two terms together right now.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can do that.
So if basically the simplest thing is to be just to do term plus second term, right? And now I'm using the parameters of the function as well, because before it was just a hack.
It's the simplest thing that can work at the moment.
Yeah. So gonna commit added test 1 plus 2 equals 3. Okay. Good. So let's
Do you want to
back to tests.
retrospect this, or do you want to continue on traditional style?
Let's do another test and a bit of refactoring, so that we'll see also how refactoring works.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then,
well, so an easy refactoring right now would be we have some duplication we could easily pull out.
Yeah, so we could add another test, or we could just do like that. Basically, it's clear that this thing shouldn't be around here. So typically what I do, I just try to extract this to a setup.
Oh.
Or what do you do? What do you
I would suggest just pull out all three variables and make a single assert, like a custom assert.
From this? Or from this?
So if you, basically that. But you're going to need to pull out term one and pull out term one, term out,
I do
term
that in
two,
smaller steps
and then,
quickly. So basically this is
and then we just
the
have
first term addition.
Yeah.
Addition. And then this is the second term addition.
and then extract 31 and 33.
Only those two, or should I extract this as well as the
No.
result?
Just 31 and 33, and then inline everything.
Yeah, you're right. That's simpler. So this should be,
And now it kind of looks like our Git messages as well.
of course,
Cert edition, cert Roman edition. Cert edition is fine.
Yeah, I think that's better, Roman edition. Yeah, and now it says that I have another fragment because idea is smart. So if
yeah,
you do
I love that.
it really works out great. So
and then I would inline all of those.
Yeah, if
things.
I inline this, I inline this as well. And the fact that I gave good names when I extracted the variable, now I have very good names here as well.
The order there.
Just to extract, to inline this as well, okay?
But can you modify the signature so expected is now at the end?
Yeah, for sure. But I just wanted to extract the other one. And
if you change signature on 26.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. But I never know if that works also for
I forget what the shortcut is.
I always forget it. I don't use it that often, so basically we want this to come back here
down,
and maybe instead of expected,
can we
I would
rename those parameters too?
Yeah. So
let's just call that result.
And then this should be like.
And let's just call it first.
1 second.
Actually, you know what would be neat? If you call this plus. Just call this plus.
Like the second.
I know it sounds weird. No, just call the plus.
Because what we'd have is something like.
And then call that first.
Yeah. So we have something like a phrase now.
Yeah.
So
maybe even need it instead of the result.
It would be something like first plus result.
First plus this. Ooh, yeah. Maybe it'd be even interesting to rename result to equals.
It's kind of a detail. So
you're
saying I can just change it here. It's the only reference.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not.
So first plus this equals 2.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, we removed duplication a lot.
Our tests now are really, really close to, like, line 22 and 23 are super close.
You mean 20? You mean 18 and 23?
Well, 18 and 23 as well, but also like 17 and 18 and 22 and 23.
Yeah.
Our English and our code is very close, and I always take that as a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can read the code, but you can also read the name of the test.
Exactly.
Basically, if you look only at the test names, you'd see, like, in the where they are ran, you can see them well, but also it's a very simple test to understand. I'm just running them again. I will do another commit. Okay, so we didn't destroy anything. Refactored the code, the test code. Okay, so now we have this style of pairing. Do you want to go on with the strong style as well?
Yeah, let's try strong style, but let's do a quick retro just on how this was. So
I'll take notes, okay? Just for the.
So.
Yeah.
Let's start with the observations. What did you observe in this?
So basically, you would help me only when you see something's wrong. or when
Yeah.
you think that I could do things faster or better.
And in general, I was actually quite quiet.
Yeah. So I'll just
I'm
take.
a loud person in general, so my quiet is still loud.
I take a note. Navigator helps when driver is wrong, or let's say driver makes mistakes. When
I'm
driver
also
can make things easier, simpler. Yeah.
so we saw that like when for our first test.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I had knowledge that you didn't have it, right? Or,
So you said it's quiet. It's just.
also, when we get yeah, it's quiet. It gets louder when we're stuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is one of the really useful things I think about pairing in general, right? Is a lot of times in programming we get, sort of stuck, and getting unstuck can be frustrating, take a lot of time, and is remarkably unrewarding, right? Like when we finally got the code to compile, it's not like we're like, oh yay, we solved a big problem. We're like, oh, we got out of a stupid problem.
Yeah. So that's what you mean by unrewarding, because it's kind of um, you just feel relieved, but you don't feel that you accomplished something.
Yeah, you feel relieved, but you feel relieved that because you were feeling stupid. You
Yeah.
don't feel smart like you've yeah. Um, Another thing is like, I mean, we have the video on right now, so it's easier for me to stay engaged.
Yeah.
But I think in remote, it's much easier for me to get distracted on my side, right? Where I might check my phone, or I might go and check, uh, like do a Google or something. When Facebook messages popped up on my screen, like, it's easier to ignore, but those are tempting.
Mm. Yeah. You always need a lot of um, I don't know, self-discipline to be
Yeah.
able to stay focused when doing remote pairing.
Yeah.
But I think there are some tools you can, or techniques you can use, like changing from time to time, right?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
though.
changing who is typing is a very useful tool, both in strong and traditional typing
Mm-hmm. So
or
changing
style.
typing is a good option, but it can get difficult, right? Um, it's not.
It's harder to change who's typing in remote.
Yeah.
We have to set up better, um, because there's the lag even if we switch. And in like the way that we're doing remote at the moment is with Google Hangouts, where switching typing isn't even an option.
Yeah.
Now, there are
Exactly.
other tools that allow for that, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's continue on then in strong style.
Okay. Of course, I need to do commit. Added observations after traditional style pairing. Oh, before that, I just want to add another mention. The fact that what I saw is that what I said during really in the beginning is that you need now all, let's say the driver needs to explain
Yeah,
what they are doing,
it was really helpful when you did explain.
because otherwise it's really really obvious that it's easier for the navigator to get not to be engaged, right? So
And to
um,
be confused.
yeah, and then you can be confused, and it's very difficult for the navigator to help you out, because yeah, you don't know what's going on. So yeah, I think that's really important. You need to talk, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a kind of a difficult thing to talk while you code.
It is, because typing takes a remarkable amount of focus.
Yeah, but you also need to type to think about what you're doing and to talk about what you're doing at the same time.
Yeah.
So that makes it difficult.